MOT time again for this van, and just been down to the test station and we have failed. But not as bad as last year. Last year there was like a whole list of things to do because I never bothered checking anything before I went in. But today, doing an engine mount, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video, replacing an engine mount. Now for a while this has been cracking as been setting off, so I knew there was something, but it was doing that last time it went in for the MOT, so I never really looked into it. So I'm on my way to the parts store now, just clicked and collected an engine mount that we need to replace, so I'm going to get that now and then we're going to get it sorted out. So here we have the engine mount. I've just picked it up from GSF car parts. They had them in stock, clicked and collected it, £17.70, so not too bad really for these days and these days prices. So next thing we need to do is jack it up. I'll show you where it is on the van and we'll get it removed and replaced. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully. So that is the engine mount, that is gone, and just try and get the camera in at an angle that you can see what we're doing. If I move this backwards and forwards you can see it clearly and you can hear it as well, so that's not good, is it? So that is why this has failed MOT, and what we're going to do is replace it. So there's a bolt here that needs removing and a bolt here that needs removing, so we'll get those out now. So a little tip when choosing your sockets, so these type of sockets, you put them on, I mean that one's too big anyway, but I tend not to use these spliney type ones. Simple reason on these older vehicles is it tends to round the nuts off so you don't get a good grip. So what I do use is the proper socket for the actual bolt, so you see that it gets a nice tight fit, there's no movement in it, and this is a 13mm socket and it's got a good grip of the nut so it won't round it off. So I'm going to try and get that on. This is the 3/4 inch drive. Just going to try and crack it off first. I think it's mounted at the top as well, so get the spanner going the right way. Oh, that's tight. And this one, try this one as well. That one's come off a bit easier, so we might need a longer bar. Right, and then get my torque wrench changed in. Doesn't want to move. So this has been cracked off now and it is starting to come out, but I'm being very gentle because I don't want to snap the bolt. So it is coming very slowly. It will come out, trust me. It shouldn't be too much of an issue really. It's starting to get a bit So here's a top tip, is to spray it once you've got it started as well. I mean, you can do this before you start it, but the penetrating fluid's got to flow in. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to tighten it back up again, which might sound a bit odd to some people, but what we want to do is get that penetrating fluid in. I can actually feel the rubber inside this. It is just not it is coming, it's coming. He's barely hanging on, is this engine mount. Yeah, it's finally gone there. So you might see it's actually spinning inside there, so we're going to get rid of that. So as you can see, it's wedged quite a big spanner in there now, and hopefully this will force the bolt out. Not always the case, but I've had to apply some heat to that as well, so this is quite a large spanner, by the way, and it should just be enough to get a grip of that. See, I am getting a few turns on it. The proper seized on inside. It should just slide out, this bolt, by the way, as well. And it's not doing, because as usual with this Ford Transit Connect, it does not want to be repaired. So we're now making some progress. So I applied a bit of heat actually to the bolt, and this started happening. So this is starting to come out now. That was well and truly seized in to the actual mount. So you see the bolts coming down a little bit now. It's starting to get a bit freer as well, which is why my spanner keeps slipping, because I'm trying to do this. Right. In theory that should start coming out now. There we go, there we go, there's the bolt. So there we can see the spanner holding that bit in, and this I think is 32mm. Now your bolts, like I said, have this smooth shank there, so that should really go through the mount, but you look at the new mount, the bolt should just go through, and it's actually not threaded, so that's what's made it so hard to get that bolt out. So this is the bolt we've just taken out. As you can see, that's quite corroded and rusty, but it's still a good bolt. We'll just clean this up, give it a good spray, make sure it's got rid of all the crap, and we'll get that one back in. So obviously we need to get rid of this mount now. It should just come out like that, and there you can see all mangled up. Now all we need to do is put the new one in and throw it about the van on the floor. So doesn't really need any explanation on which way it goes up, so it should go in like that. So I would put the bolt. Right, here we go. So as I was just saying earlier, it keeps stopping recording, so I've cleaned the bolt up that I've taken out, and it was completely seized up inside there, which is what was making it awkward to get out. I'm gonna make sure it's well lubricated before we put it back in. Giving all this lot of good lubrication, and we should be able to just slide this back in, hopefully, and get it lined up. See, there you go. It should, in theory, line up with the bolt at the top and start threading up like this. Might need a bit of jiggling, and there we go. I think it's gone. Now when you tighten these up, don't do them fully, just get them hand tight first. So that's going in nicely. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Give it a spray. And the spray also helps with any corrosion as well. Now these bolts don't generally rust too much, but they are fucking hard to get out when you need to get them out. There we go. We'll once you've found your thread, you can start tightening it up again. So there you have it. That is your engine mount replaced. Now that's taken me a couple of hours, and that's all because of that. Now this will be the original part, no doubt, and on a van of this age you've got to expect to allow yourself some time to do it. Now the front bit is fine, but that there is what's been going. And you can see, you probably can't see this, but you can see all that corrosion inside there, which is what was stopping that bolt coming out. So I applied some heat with the bolt actually onto the bolt there, and surprisingly enough that is what's helped it come out. Now I kept spraying it with some WD or some lubricant like that, spraying it. Now that causes capillary attraction, so the lubricant then slides up when the heat is applied and it starts oozing back down as well. So you're spraying it from the top and the bottom, and a little bit of perseverance will get you that bolt out. If it doesn't snap the bolt, you should be fine. You reusing the bolt. If the bolt does snap, then you need to go and get yourself a new bolt, obviously. So there you go guys, that is how you replace your engine mount on a Ford Transit Connect. The rear one is generally called the figure of 8 mount, but 17 quid. Did it on my drive, couple of hours. There you go. Thanks for watching guys, hope you got something out of this video, and I'll catch you in another video soon. Thanks for watching. Oh, I need a new glove.